Okay, now I can start. Yeah, guys, I'm back. One astronaut. Um, I'm back at home in Katie. It's the bed right here with clothes on. It's dirty. But anyway, back at home with Katie. I left him in Virginia. I left because I couldn't do it. But I do I did say I do appreciate you, and I thank you for teaching me on how on perfecting my shifting and down shifting because he did. But it was just the lows wasn't. I just did not think I'm getting paid cents per mile. Okay, so I depend on these loads to be coming in so I can be driving. If your first thing they tell you about when you get into trucking, if your wheels ain't moving, you ain't making no money, and that's where it got to. We did only like two loads now, but he we got into a confrontation about hours of service, and he's using his Safety Gorilla app, and that has like I looked at the reviews on that when I started getting a hint of things was getting real sketchy. Okay, I'll talk about that later, but real sketchy. Like first of all, the reviews on that safety thing is horrible. They said don't use it. People get violations with it and everything. It gets a lot of people in trouble. I don't know why he just didn't use Keep Trucking. That's much better. But he didn't. Other than that, here's where the confrontation came into. So first time I was saying, yo man, I got like an hour and 40 something minutes on my clock. Okay, we won't be able to drive 2 hours away to go pick up a load at all. He said, no, you don't. You don't have 40. You don't have an hour and 45 minutes on your clock. You got more than that. I was like, no. I'm looking at it right here, and I can only drive really 11 hours out of your 14. But at that point, I was kind of driving 14 a little bit. Cause I was getting used to this thing. I didn't really understand it, but it was starting to get real easy to understand. So I said, man, I'm not gonna be able to drive no more. I ain't gonna be able to drive that 2 hours. He said, no, man, you got plenty of time. I was like, dude, when your 14-hour clock starts, you it keeps starting. It keeps going. He's talking about, no, I tell you go on the sleeping bird and it stops. No, it doesn't. Your 14-hour clock does not stop if you go. And that was the argument right there. And I was like, you know what? Okay, I understand. Because if you try to finesse something or anything, let me know that this is what you're trying to do so I can adjust and protect myself. Okay? Um, Protect myself. That's all I'm going to say. But other than that, the conversation came up again. And I was like, we woke up and there was no load still. I'm like, bro, it's like 11 something, ain't no load. I'm telling this man, I got an hour and 40 something minutes. We ain't gonna be able to drive. I know it was again an hour and 40 minutes on my clock. We ain't gonna be able to drive 2 hours away. He said, no, man, you got 6 hours left of your clock to drive. I was like, no, I don't. Look at this app that you got me using for ELD. So either this little Gorilla Safety app, whatever, is not accurate, or I just don't got 6 hours on my clock, and I know what the hell I'm looking at. I'm experienced, and he was like, I was like, I can't drive. Your 14-hour doesn't stop. He was like, yeah, it does stop. When you go on sleeping birds and all that stuff, it stops. Like once it stops, it stops. You ain't driving on nothing. You stop. So I was like, who told you this? He didn't tell me that. I was like, okay, well, how about you Google it? And I said it twice, and he kind of got upset. And was like, no, how about you Google it then? I was like, oh, you know what? I'll Google it for the both of us. So I whipped out my phone, my new Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, and I put it on speaker and said, okay, Google, where what is the 14-hour rule? That's all I said. It went into once the driver starts his clock, his 14 hours a day to work starts and it never stops. And he heard it. And I was like, okay, so what we gonna do about this now? So he gets all, I guess, upset or whatever. So he steps out. He calls DOT talking about, yo, man, what is this rule, this and that, blah, blah. He comes back and tells me, yeah, your clock doesn't stop. You all right on that and everything. I know I'm fucking right. The hell, I'm the driver. I have to have my shit in order, my man. So he's saying, but what they did say you can do is split the sleeping berth. Now I knew about it. I heard about it. I kind of knew how to do it, but not really, 'cause I never done it before. So as he's talking about it, I'm on YouTube already listening to it, and it's starting to get easier as on YouTube when they explaining it to me, um, which is pretty simple actually, but it can be very confusing. So I don't really know. I'm understanding why a lot of people don't really like to do it, and why a lot of companies don't want you to do it, because it can confuse you a lot, and the company too. So I was like, okay, no big deal. Um, Here's what I'm going to do. I told him I could do the split hours. I have no problem with that, but we won't have to wait 30 more minutes. Okay. He was like, yeah, no problem. So he going back and forth with his broker. Okay. They canceling loads, getting loads, canceling loads. Broker asking why I can't do this because of my clock, and he's just now understanding why this clock thing is a big deal. And we ain't had no load that whole day. So the next day go by, doing the same thing, no load. I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna have to make my way up out of here. I'm realizing he's a rookie. He's brand new to this owner operator. He is owner operator's own authority. He is, but he's brand new to it. And here's the reason why he's so shocked and brand new and weird that all this is new, all these rules and everything. And he's talking about, man, this is frustrating. It's ridiculous. All these rules. This is what other truckers are talking about out here. Okay, so backstory on him. He just came out of prison last year. He been in prison for 10 years since the 90s, and that's all he talks about is the 90s. I'm just like, okay, I understand you can still have that mindset and everything, but you gotta understand things have changed. Okay, especially trucking. It's not like the 90s no more, where you can make a lot of money back in there. This is when he started to open up to me. He started telling me more of his life, and it started to become. I started to understand a little bit more, but I understood it was just off. Because when I got with him, it was working on shifting, and he wanted to go pick up this load and didn't want to be late. That's understandable. So he decided to drive. Before we got on that road to drive, he said, "I'm the only one in there with a CDL, Class A." I was like, okay. He said, "I'm not gonna tell you why I don't have mine. I'm not gonna tell you why he went to prison and everything, but I'm assuming he probably did something or got a lot of, I don't know, maybe he killed somebody, hit somebody, and lost his CDL, because CDL was what played a factor in him losing, in him going to prison also. So I don't know what it was, but he's driving, and I'm just like, bro, this is. So I call my homeboy. I like, yo, this is what's going on. This is what's going on. But it seemed like he had his stuff, and the truck was good. The papers I saw was not expired. It was good papers on the truck. IFTA was good. Everything on the truck was good. Okay, it wasn't nothing sketchy with the truck. The loads he was hauling for JB Hunt and Schneider. I didn't see any Schneider loads, and then here come the reason why I didn't see any Schneider loads. He later told me that I shouldn't be telling you this. No, wait, hold on. Quotes. I shouldn't be telling you this, but Snyder gave me a load. It was a load of nails going 10 miles away, and I cussed them all out and everything. And now, I ain't really seen no loads from them in a while. And I'm just like, And that's very worrisome when somebody needs loads like me to make my money, because I get paid cents per mile. I can't stay with you, man. I can't. So I'm telling y'all the short story though. But so I left him in. We was in a hotel in Virginia, like 30 minutes away from Richmond, and we went. He decided to look at the Eco Lodge in Petersburg, and I was like, look at this Eco Lodge. First of all, Eco Lodge, it better be a nice Eco Lodge. Other than that, no Eco Lodge. But we go to this Eco Lodge, and it's like in the ghetto. It was like people do crystal meth at that Eco Lodge. And I'm just like, okay. He go inside to look what the bills were or whatever, the rooms. I'm packing my stuff up. All right. Putting all my blankets, everything in bag and everything neat and orderly, which I was already doing at the pilot before we started moving again. And because first of all, I'm not gonna stay there the whole night. But if I was gonna sleep in the Ecolodge bed, I would have put my own blanket on top of it and slept on my blanket. Other than that, I was gonna stay there about an hour, call a Lyft or Uber or some kind of cab, come pick me up. I'm going to the airport. So he decided he didn't like it because they don't have continental breakfast, nor didn't he also said it smelled like shit in there. But we went to a home comfort suites. I mean, and it wasn't bad. It was right there next to the Hamilton Inn and all these Holiday Inn. You know, these big tower and hotels that look nice in a nice place. So I was not worried. He got us both a room. You know, I had my room. He had his room, and I took my stuff in there with me as we went. Later that night, I called my people. I told them I was coming home, and everything, and that was pretty much it. I got me a ticket, and I was looking for a Lyft Uber around 10, which is a horrible thing I should never have done. But I wanted a shower though, because I just felt so dirty. Other than that, everybody goes to sleep early up there in like the northeast states. They go to sleep early, and I don't like that. So you'll never see me living in the northeast. But it took me all the way until 12, and I finally got a taxi. He said, "Bro, I don't mind come picking you up 30 minutes out. As long as you pay me in advance, I'll come pick you. I'll come pick you up. I drive anywhere along." He about that money, so he was pretty okay. Other than that, he took me to Richmond Airport, and I got there around 2, and I sat there all the way until my plane left, was like 7 a.m. So I was up watching movies, just chilling. I was comfortable. I had my blanket, had my neck pillow. I was good. But yeah, I hopped on that plane, and then that's when I sent them, yo, oh wait, hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. Now, 6 o'clock, it was like 5:40. I get my paycheck. Okay, my paycheck like $450, and we did 800 something miles in that 1 week. And I was like, okay, not bad, you know. Now this is a 1099, and that's without taxes being taken out yet. I originally was gonna get paid $300 something. I was getting paid 45 cents. It was 845 or 841 miles I drove. So that's not even a big paycheck for the first week, and he's already having trouble with loads and not understanding that, you know, there's rules I must follow in order to make this money legally. So it comes in. I get on a plane around 6, close to 7 though. 6:44, I believe. That's when they stop boarding. And so we just sitting in there. I go out saying, my thank you and everything, but I must leave. And I left him in Virginia with that truck of his, and he has no CDLA. I left him in Virginia. Called me a connecting flight, went from Virginia to Illinois, back down to Texas. And now I'm back here in Texas. I've been calling other people. Other people have been on Craigslist messaging me. I decided to go and see what those bigger company was, like KB Transportation. See what they say, and everything. You know, the worst you can get is a no. And I only say these things because, you know, I know there's a lot of companies out there, but, you know, the situation where I started doing trucking and everything was a troubling situation for me, where a lot of these big companies may not pick me up. I didn't kill nobody. I didn't lose any. I didn't kill anybody. I didn't like do any crashes or anything like that. It was nothing had to do with operating commercial motor vehicle. But yeah, I'll probably do a video on that later. Other than that, man, I'm back here in Houston at the house, and I'm not down. I'm keeping my head up. Still got positive. I'm still positive and everything. You know, I got a whole list of people who want to take me still, because I'm still a CDLA driver. It's just that, you know, you got to watch out for some of the people or owner operators who are sketchy, real sketchy. Some people, they be like, yeah, we just need a driver. They just need a driver to come be put in a truck. And you can be that driver though, but you'll start to realize, all right, I got there on Monday. It's been about maybe 5 days. Okay, and I started to know who he was on the second day. So it just you gotta find a good person to work for him, and that person gotta have good intentions in their heart, a good heart in general, really, and a person that is good on their shit. That's all. That's all it is, really. So, cause most people just want people put it in a truck so they can start making the money off of you, and they'll do any way they can do it. But other than that, yeah, I made it home back safely. Anyway, back to that. While I was at the airport, I saw these finally, and I got me some of these. They are shades though, but they're Bose. The speakers right here, and they play music in your ear, and it's nice. Now these came out about a year ago, and I've been looking at them, and I wanted them, and my girlfriend at the time was supposed to get them for me, but she didn't really spend money like that on me, and I was really being used, especially being a trucker and everything. I was being used. Like, I knew her for a while. I knew her since college and everything, and we've been together since college, but it was certain things I'm starting to realize this is probably just fake. And that's what it was. And so I left her, and I feel so good. I feel better. If y'all want to know about my relationship, our past relationship well, I don't have a relationship now, but y'all want to know about my past relationship, I can do a video about that and go into details and everything. Just, keep on recommending these videos to people. Like, comment, tell me what y'all want to hear. I'll see if I have a story about it. Other than that, let's just keep trucking, okay? Your number one astronaut, out.